Hi everybody, Andrew Cuneo here. I'm going to be playing in day 2 of the Arena Open. This is Modern Horizons 3 Booster Draft. This is not a format that I enjoyed very much or really even played that much of, so the drafting's probably not going to be as good as it possibly could be. I kind of gave up on this format pretty early. I just decided to play. I played literally one of the sealed qualifiers and made it through. So we're going to see how it goes. Hopefully I get an easy seat to draft because I'm not prepared to draft a difficult seat. I do know the archetypes, and I do know that Guide of Souls is one of the absolute best cards in the format. So that's what I'll be picking. I guess if it wasn't here, this would be a pretty easy Galvanic Discharge. None of these uncommons are anything special. So I guess you probably want to just be white-red if you get this guy, but white-blue would be fine as well. My sealed deck, which I posted a screenshot on Twitter, was just straight up white-red energy. I had Flage and 2 Amped Raptors and 2 Galvanic Discharges, so it seems like a pretty easy deck to build. Decree of Justice. This was such a good card when it was originally printed and limited. Not very good anymore. Alright. This seems like kind of a disappointing second pick, but I think it's what I'm going to be taking. Inspired Inventor is certainly a card that I would probably want in this kind of deck. I think it's probably worse than Voltstorm Angel. And I think Conduit Goblin also is... I mean, it would obviously be good if I wind up white-red, but I think it's a little bit narrow to second pick. I want to be open to white-blue. I guess I want to be open to other colors as well, but I don't think there's anything here that would cause me to even consider going in a different direction than just a white card. There's also Flooded Strand, but I think I'll just take a spell. Bloodstained Mire and Polluted Delta. This is probably a good pack to open in real life. Pretty bad pack otherwise. I'll just take Dog Umbra. I have no idea what the win rate on this card is. It seems like it's just fine. Like, it's kind of the thing you certainly want some of, but you don't want a ton of. Now we get... That card's not very good. Why does it cost so much? Don't think I want to go down this road. I think I'm just going to take Conduit Goblin. There's also Tune the Narrative. I think with Guide of Souls, I want to slant towards a more aggressive deck with, you know, just lots of creatures and cheap creatures. So I think white-red's going to be better than white-blue. Another Dog Umbra. Or I could take the white-blue energy guy. A lot of black cards in the pack. A lot of white cards, too. It seems like white's open. I think I'll just take a second Dog Umbra. guess 3 colors is certainly a possibility, but I don't know that I want to be playing 3 colors with gold 2-drops in multiple color combinations. That seems like a recipe to have a lot of awkward draws. And expel the unworthy Void Pouncer. I think I'm just going to take Mandibular Kite. This is actually a pretty good card, I think. I could see if I hadn't already picked 2 Dog Umbras, maybe taking Expel the Unworthy more aggressively, but I want a good supply of creatures. Meltdown. We are playing best of 3 with sideboarding, which makes this card very appealing if you play against the red-black deck. I think I'm just going to take Jolted Awake, though. I have a really good 1-drop that it gets back already. What does this card do? Put an angel, demon, or dragon creature from your hand onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. So if I had the Voltsworn Angel, I'd be good to go. That doesn't seem all that probable. So I could take a Wing It, which I don't think I need to pick that aggressively. I do not think that this card is good. Could be wrong. I think I'm just going to take the Hydroelectric Specimen in case I wind up in white-blue. It doesn't seem like I've seen very many red cards. What does this card do? Feel an artifact or enchantment? I don't think I'm going to have a lot of artifacts and enchantments, so I guess I'm just taking Ether Spike. Now we see a Flooded Strand. There's also Tempest Harvester. I'm kind of inclined to pick the Flooded Strand, though. I think I'm going to get, if I wind up white-blue, I think I'm going to get enough spells that I'm not necessarily going to miss the Tempest Harvester. I like having good mana. I don't think I'm in the market for a Charitable Levy. It's mostly a rare draft. A white-red land or a Demon Furier. I think I'll take Demon Furier. I'm disappointed the white-blue guy didn't come back, but I guess that was pretty late in the pack. Some lands that damage me. Keeping my spells improvised. Not really in the market for that. A Reiterating Bolt. That is certainly a good card. There's an Inspired Inventor. I could take Inspired Inventor and just hope to wheel the Ether Spike, which I think will probably happen. Kind of feel like I'm probably not supposed to be red. I didn't see much red that pack, and I passed that Galvanic Discharge, which probably got taken second pick, so I think I should probably lean more towards blue-white. Which makes me want to take the Riddlegate Gargoyle here. I'm a little bit concerned that I don't have as many cheap creatures as I really want. I definitely want to lean toward, like, I want to pick creatures pretty aggressively because I already have 2 Dog Umbras and 1 Ether Spike, and I'm hoping to get that second Ether Spike to wheel. I think that we're just focusing on white-blue from here on out. Oh, but now I see a Galvanic Discharge. Ooh. Making it hard on me. But I think I'm just going to take Area Auxiliary instead. Area Auxiliary. Another reason to just have a high creature count. Would I like to expel the unworthy? I guess. I really don't understand the booster coalition thing where why is it desirable to have two thriving Skyclaws appear in the same pack? And why isn't it preventable? I'll probably play 17 lands plus the Hydroelectric Specimen. If my curve gets really low, I could play 16 in the Specimen. Or there's also the white-blue land that might wheel. Take another Area Auxiliary. So I'm very much in the market for 2 and 3 drop creatures with 2 Area Auxiliaries and Guide of Souls. What does this card do? It's fancy. I'm just going to take another Inspired Inventor, though. Still really not that blue. Could have had so many fetch lands this draft. I've been drafting a lot of cube, which makes the fetch lands seem a lot more appealing. Electrozoa might be okay. And this was my original pack. I don't think there was anything I was particularly hoping to wheel out of this pack. Take another Kite. This is the pack. I think I was hoping to wheel this Ether Spike or the white-blue land. Or was that the next pack that had the white-blue land in it? Reasonably happy with how this is going. I feel like I have a pretty focused deck that's works well with the broken rare that I opened. I just need to open a second Guide of Souls or maybe an Ocelot's Pride. I don't know if I'm going to be playing Copy Crook. I guess if I wind up a little short, I could. It'd be good if I get to copy an Area Auxiliary, but generally clones are pretty bad. Do I want a Serum Visionary? I do like this card, but I don't think I'm going to have any of the Emerge stuff. I think I'm just going to take another Hydroelectric Specimen. I could just take Plains. No, thank you. Like Ether Spike Tribal. I did have one draft deck where I actually had a bunch of X spells in this guy. I don't think I did very well with that. Do we want the Riddle Keeper? I don't have great stuff to emerge away. I do have 2 Inspired Inventors. I don't know about that pick. Maybe I was supposed to just take another Inspired Inventor. Toxic Deluge. That is a hell of a card. I think this pack's kind of a brick. I could take this land, which I don't even think I would play. Don't think I want Toxic Deluge. Definitely don't want the Iron Marks. I guess I'm taking Unfathomable Truths. I don't know if that's going to make my deck. I do have a lot of reasons to want to play at instant speed. Ooh. Non-basic lands are islands. Is that actually good? No, not really, but it's not nothing. Side of Memory is probably actually a very good sideboard card. I think I'm just taking Nyxborn Unicorn though, sadly. Do I want a third Hydroelectric Specimen? We may be all Hydroelectric Specimened out. Maybe I want another Expel the Unworthy. At a minimum, it will be a good sideboard card. This pack is not going how I had hoped. I don't want any of these cards. Rare draft this bear thing. Bear draft. Man. This is brutal. This card is really good. I don't think I can play it. Another Electrozoa or Angel of Ruins. I'll go with another Electrozoa. Another Electrozoa. Or this lifelink guy. Another Electrozoa. I guess I'm going to wind up with enough spells. This will be 16 lands plus 2 specimen, which I think is what I was shooting for. And I do have a couple cards in my sideboard that it wouldn't be a disaster if they made my deck. I'm going to play Brain Surge. I think Brain Surge is an upgrade to Unfathomable Truths for me. Just because it's cheaper. I'm not going to splash the triple red card. Probably play one less island, one more plains, because I'm going to play these as lands a lot of the time. And I do have a double white card, and all my 1-drops are white. I have good mana. Target instant or sorcery spell with a single target. Hydroelectric Specimen. There aren't really all that many blowout kind of things. I would imagine you can hit with this. I guess it's mostly just like it's effectively counter or a removal spell. No, let's see how this does. Blue-white mirror. attack or block. I think I'm not going to attack. I don't know how likely it is they have Electrozoa, but I don't really want my 1/1 to get eaten by an Electrozoa. Mandibular Kite Mirror. So they can double block if they want. I really didn't want the Tempest Harvester to die. I thought they were going to double block Zealot and Harvester on the Inventor. I guess they could have a spell, but... Alright. It wasn't even that good of a spell because they didn't kill my 3/3 flyer. Seems like they have a good card in their hand, though, because they did just discard Dog Umbra. Put the Mandibular Kite on the Hydroelectric Specimen, I'm going to have a hard time attacking. It does require them to spend 4 mana at sorcery speed. I think if they do that, I'm going to play the Electrozoa and then just not keep it untapped. And then I'll untap and play my own Volt Swarm Angel. For some reason I thought this thing was a 3/2. Okay. I definitely should have attacked one turn with the Mandibular Kite. And they've looted away so many lands. It's a good thing I just drew the right number of lands. No looting necessary. I wanted to cast this in response to the decision. I guess I needed to be in full control. I think Guide of Souls is going to get this game done for me. Ready to mount an attack? No. Really have a lot of these Electrozoas. Perhaps I have too many. Opponent seems unhappy about this Guide of Souls trigger. Next turn I'll probably attack with Inspired Inventor and put the Guide of Souls counters on it. Assume this is a lifelink attack. Oh, with the connive. I forgot about the connive. I guess if they make it a 5/5, I'll probably just make the airy auxiliary bigger. All right, that's only a 4/4. Time to slam on the ground. If I attack with this Electrozoa, it's just going to get blocked. This gets blocked there. I don't think I want to attack with Guide of Souls. This might be as good as it's going to get for this Electrozoa. I'm going to flash in 2 Electrozoas and probably just double block a Voltsworn Angel. I guess I was 1 off of lethal if I swung with everything. I didn't really think that it might be close, that it might actually be lethal. And it wasn't. So I guess my intuition was right. Finally killed that Tempest Harvester. Look how much it looted. One expel the unworthy and a Thraben. Charm, I'm just thinking about how likely is Guide of Souls to live if I draw it again next game. It seems pretty likely to live. Seems like I should probably cast it on turn 1 if I have it. If they had a whole bunch of expels, it might make more sense to wait until it's a turn where I'm going to get the trigger when it attacks, so I get value. Finally run out of Energons. I do still have 3 Ether Spikes in my deck, so probably worth saving a little bit of Energon in case I draw one of those. I think they can live, but I don't think they have any good blocks here. wonder if this person was in my draft. Suppression Ray and the Riddlegate Gargoyle are 2 cards I was hoping might wheel and didn't. Oh! I missed an attack. Thought they'd stunned everything. I was wrong. Do I want 1 expel the unworthy? Yeah, maybe over one of these Electrozoas. They're pretty bad against Mandibular Kite. I'm not going to crack the Flooded Strand until I need it, both because I don't really want to thin my deck of a land immediately, and I also have Brain Surge in my deck. Like, as soon as I need it for mana, I'm definitely going to crack it. Maybe if I draw, like, another land next turn, I'll crack it just to thin my deck. But with a hand where I was somewhat happy to draw lands, I'm not going to want to thin my deck immediately. It begins the Electrozoas. Did they go into full control mode? Use their Tempest Harvester? I believe they did. Not spending my Energons on 2 life. No way. I'd really like to not Ether Spike what they play on turn 4. Just because if I don't, then I can double spell. Or I don't want to. I can double spell next turn, which I think is a lot better. I think here I'm just going to trade with this thing. Or not. That's fine. That worked out pretty well for me. I think I'll pass. I'm going to take the hit here. If they do nothing, I'll Ether. Well, I'm definitely going to Ether Spike that. I was going to say I could have potentially Brain Surged, but picking off a 5-drop is too tempting. I'm going to play the Nyxborn Unicorn because next turn I'm probably going to cast Area Auxiliary. And I want 2 bodies in play to support. How good was that Flooded Strand pick that I made? Might want to get a lifelink hit in. It costs 2 energons. This thing about to die, and I'm not going to get a lifelink hit in. Appears so. So I think what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to attack the Nyxborn Unicorn. We'll see if they trade. Doesn't really matter what they do. I'm going to play Inspired Inventor and make a 1/1, and I'm going to Dog Umbra the Solstice, sell it. And I'm just going to do this right away because I don't want them drawing the Hydro Specimen guy. This does mean that they can use this thing as a tapper still, which is a little bit annoying, but they don't have an unlimited supply of the Energons. I think I'm far enough ahead that I can just sit on Ether Spike. If I'm not going to attack with the Nyxborn Unicorn and Mentor onto the 1/1, I'm just not going to attack with the 1/1. So we're spending 4 Energons to get this thing off the board. I think so. Is Solstice Zealot a good card? It's never seemed particularly good to me, but I guess it was okay this game. Although they did... I guess it was mostly okay because they put the Indebted Spirit on it, which made me feel like I wanted to Dog Umbra it. But they just kind of... It's not exactly a 2-for-1. Because they are still getting some use out of it. Lifelinking... I'll take the hit. I can't emerge away the token. Oh, I need colorless mana in my deck to be able to cast this. That's terrible. Alright. I'm sure there are going to be comments about that. Alright, like I said, I have not played a ton of this format, so this Twisted Riddle Keeper was a bad pick. I think I'm just going to play... Copy Crook instead. That was pretty bad. I could play the Tranquil Landscape. I'm just never going to get there on really being able to reliably emerge this, and spending 8 mana on that's not reasonable. I guess my other choice is Unfathomable Truths, which also probably would be pretty good. I could play the Unfathomable Truths and the land and the... I still don't think you get there on the Riddle Keeper. This hand I'm gonna thin right away. Don't really want to draw a 5th land, at least not right away. I think people really don't appreciate the value of thinning with fetch lands. Like it helps each draw step a tiny bit, which is why people are not that impressed by it, but over the course of the game, it's a cumulative effect. It does improve your draws. All right. Happily put a stop to that. That's pretty good value out of an Electrozoa. 6 damage and traded with a card. Yes. Don't want Energons. This means the Ether Spike isn't guaranteed to work. It's going to go for 3 here, which is a lot. And this does mean the Inventor gets to attack through Nadier's Nightblade. Cursed Wombat. That's fine. I already got rid of my way to shuffle. So holding the land has a lot less value. I suppose they are playing black. They could have one of those things that make like the 2/1 flyer that makes you discard, but they don't appear to be an artifact theme, and that usually is a prerequisite for playing that card. So this thing grows into a 4/5. This is a good card. Or does it grow into a 5/6? I think it grows into a 5/6. Costs 4 mana. So that's 1 green up, which I guess they have that Death Touch card. It's possible this Hydroelectric Specimen's going to be good. Oh, they could also have the fight thing. I think the fight thing's a sorcery, though. Running low on the Energons. That was cool. Next turn I'll probably move a Fight Specimen and go for the kill, especially with a Specimen backing that plan up. Oh, they can survive by draining me with the Nightblade. I think it's still worth forcing them to do that. I can't survive. My math was off by 1. Kind of feel like I might want a bunch of Expel the Unworthies against this deck. Not a good hand. Much better hand. That's not good for me. I guess I played bad. I should have just left up Ether Spike. The decision to cast Expel the Unworthy instead of Ether Spike was probably bad, but it certainly got compounded by the fact that I then immediately drew a second Ether Spike, and my opponent had a hand that could play around it. Hearing some rumblings. To hit all lands. I wonder if that's what they wanted. I think I'm probably going to flash this in almost no matter what they do. I'll draw that draw 3 card. Could have considered not countering that and just discarding the planes, and then I have the kite that makes it so they can't really trade. But then I don't get to attack, and I am giving up my 5th land, which my 5th land does have value for sure. This doesn't drain; it just causes loss of life. There we go, that was a good draw. I could have fired it off main phase, just in case I drew an island and an ether spike. But that requires an awful lot to go right. And it means that my opponent won't be afraid of what I can do at instant speed. Hopefully I find my other expel. I can dog Umbra that, but it's not as good, obviously. I'm gonna hold the Guided Souls until I can get a turn's worth of triggers off of it. Yeah, that's good. Yikes. That thing's gonna be a problem. Come on, more dog umbras. How does expel work? Can I expel? Can't expel the aura. And they went for it, and I didn't have it until this turn. This is a lot of land. I guess their plan was that they baited out the counter with this, and then next turn they would do that. It's a good plan. Seems like a bad attack. Any spell. I'm already functionally at 4 because of the spawn being able to sack to the marionette. I still die. I really die. Come on, island off the top. Or hydroelectric specimen. Would accept that as well. Now the one in a black -3/-3 card doesn't even work. This is a gross draw. Imagine spending mana on lifelink here. It would be horrible. I guess the -3/-3 could work here on this thing. They have to do it. before I decide whether to spend the energons. Oh, no, they don't. Alright, we're doing it like this then. If they don't have the... I was going to say, I hope they don't have the card that is black, 1, kill a creature. They did not appear to have it. Alright, against 6, I definitely went both these expels. I guess Hydroelectric Specimen's good against the -3/-3 card. This hand's not very good. This hand's a lot better. I can't escape the Electrozoas. Keep boarding them out of my deck. Just keep drawing more and more. I don't think I want to expel the Priest of Titania. I'm just going to hope to Ether Spike whatever they play this turn and then use Dog Umbra and expel the Unworthy to clean up whatever's left. And hope that this winds up just being a 1/1 that doesn't do much over the course of the game. Not the worst draw. Plan is to trade with the Warren Soul Trader if they give me the option to. I don't really have enough Energon generation to keep the Electrozoa going. That's a good card. Use a land next turn. This is going to be enough. Maybe if their hand's all lands, but if their hand was all lands, they would have used this thing. Recon. That's the end of that game. Get in there, mandibular kite. Probably Ether Spike. Anything that they would play here. Including that. Wow, this hand got good. Curving. I think I want max bodies. Because I want to make sure that there's 2 targets for this area auxiliary. Ugh. It's kind of annoying. This could be a lot worse. I could be a deck that's trying to attack on the ground. They didn't hit my area auxiliary. That's good news for me. They hit a bunch of ether spikes. Wow. I needed a really strong draw. That was nice. So far I've only had one of the nutty Guide of Souls draws. I guess it was good in like that one long game as well. This hand is definitely not a mulligan, though. It's just sad that this isn't a Guide of Souls. Red deck. Come on, no discharge. Getting a lot of priority. It seems like they have discharge. I needed that. Probably going to take 6 damage from my lands this game. Because it's really, unless I draw running lands, I'm definitely... maybe I'm not going to 6 damage myself. Better not to take 6 damage, and it's better to get both the counters on the 2/2s instead of the counter on a 1/1. Especially given that they played the Molten Gatekeeper, which is a card that makes me not want to just deal 6 damage to myself in a game. Hydroelectric Specimen is not good against Siege Smash because that's split second. Also, it's a modal spell. I don't even know that I knew that this card had split second. I really did not play much of this format. I'm literally reading a lot of these cards. I'm not a fan of split second being in pretty much any format. It just makes it, if you're really trying to play technically perfect, when there's split second cards in the format, it just adds a whole nother layer of annoying things you have to think about. That's not the worst for me. If the area auxiliary dies, it's not great for me. Yeah, this still is not the worst for me, I would say. Creature tokens have evolved. I don't have any creature tokens, though. This is a lot of bad. I think they're going to be forced to kill the Guide of Souls in response here, which gives me a good attack. But they didn't kill the Guide of Souls, so I think they're just dead. Not literally this turn, but... I think this is going to make it very hard for them to come back. This honestly isn't the worst trade in the world. That's a pretty good card. Come on, not a 2-drop. I think that's still worth getting out of here. The deck seems like it's pretty ambitious from a colored standpoint, so cutting them off potentially off of some double colored spells, which is nice. I think I'm still going to double block. Or not. I was willing to take one more hit from this. The hopes that it gets to start hitting for damage, and then next turn I'm guaranteed to double spell. If their hand's good, I'm going to lose. Oh, yeah, that's not good for me at all. The good news is that I've got my opponent back down to 20 life. The bad news is they're probably about to flage again, at which point I will no longer have them down to 20 life. But I do have quite a beatdown going on with these 2/1/1s that are very likely to get the beatdowns going on. Another red one, so we still don't have double white. Seems like it's going to be quite hard to win. Maybe if I draw one of my draw spells next turn. Or I guess you can always draw Guide of Souls. Guide of Souls would have to sit and play for a turn or two. And that's not good for me. Not completely dead, but it's looking pretty bad. I don't think the decisions I've made this game really had much of an impact on what's actually happening. I think this is just a game I was going to lose almost no matter what. Just like to point out, this is yet again not Guide of Souls. I think I'm gonna go for the unicorn. And then sit on these ether spikes. I mean, if this gets to attack and mentor, I have a pretty fast clock going on, given that I'll probably be able to counter their next 2 spells. Plus 4 to do this. I think I want to sit on the ether spells now. Land. Not a land. Give them access to double white, it does. Do have the dog umbra, so the Flage maybe isn't going to completely run away with the game. It's not going to be good for me, though. Because they can go block sack. Alright, I need to draw lands now. And I did draw land. Need to have... They probably can't Flage next turn. They still are going to be able to block on the ground and use this thing, or use this thing. But they probably need to leave mana up to do it. Which means that I'll be able to get an attack in. Oh, that's a good draw. It's a really good draw. Oh, I could have just killed them. Man, I really... don't know the cards that well. I could have just put the counter on this and then dog umbred it. Guess this worked out better. Get in there, mandibular kite. All right, 3-1, meaning you get to see me fumble my way through another draft. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in that one.